Today's episode is another Q&A and it's going to be about Tough Mudder events. So I had a question regarding what's the best way to train for a Tough Mudder event. Lots of people are doing them now. The different events, kind of Spartan events, Tough Mudder, there's loads of different names for them, but essentially it's kind of these obstacle courses that involve running and then obstacle courses. So different ways you can train for these. There's a couple of things that I would say straight away. One of the things that people don't do that they probably should do is more strength training. And the reason I say that is because when you're doing a lot of running, which you obviously will need to do some running for these sorts of events, is a big component of it, and therefore I think that if you want to do really well, then you need to do that. We know that from an injury point of view and from an injury perspective, strength training reduces your risk of injury. And in fact, compared to most other modalities, whether that be physio, chiropractic, any of these techniques, strength training is the biggest one that reduces your injury risk. Can be in some studies up to 50% reduced injury risk by doing that. So I think that's one thing that I would say I would highly recommend. Your squats, your deadlifts, your big moves for your lower body, split squats, things like lunges, those sorts of things. Split squats and lunges I love as well because it's single leg, so you're really working on both sides and making sure that they're balanced. The other thing, obviously, you're going to need to do some running, and what I would do is make it specific to your particular course. If you are doing something where there's going to be, for example, a mile between each obstacle, then train where you do a mile run, and try and get really much better at doing a mile run. Mix up the way you do that as well. Do your slow, steady state mile, and also do your interval. So you're building that interval base as well. You're really pushing yourself for that mile. The other thing you can use is things like fartlek training. So fartlek training would be where you do a mile and you just do periods of that where you're doing as fast as you can, slow it down to a really slow jog, medium pace, and there's no real set times for that. You're just literally doing each part of the run in terms of speed just for a different period of time until you reach the mile. The other thing obviously you can do is intervals where you go fast, slow for that mile. So you're just training slightly different capacities in your aerobic system and anaerobic system when you work on those intervals. So the other thing you can obviously need to do lots of is your upper body strength as well. So in these events there's lots of pulling and it's all body weight. So I would do a lot of body weight type training. So pull-ups, press-ups, crawling, because there's often lots of crawling in these events. So just trying to make it as specific as you possibly can. A lot of the times you don't necessarily need a gym for this. You just need to find yourself a park that's maybe got some monkey bars and things like that, and go down there and do that. So maybe what I would do is at least one, maybe two, probably I would phase it in. So I would do strength training 2 days a week to start with, and 1 day a week of kind of conditioning, which involves the running and the obstacle type monkey bars and different things like that, press ups, like a circuit. And then as you go towards the event, I'd phase out the 2 times a week of strength training, bring in 1 day a week of total body strength training to maintain that injury prevention capacity, and then building in more of your 2 days a week of your specific running, and then the obstacle stuff. So obviously that's going on 3 days a week. If you had more time to train, then you can shoot me a comment or shoot me an email and ask me about that. But in terms of 3 times a week, that's how I would do it. And again, this channel is for people that are kind of time poor, they've got families, they've got other commitments, and therefore training isn't their whole life. As I say, I will do other videos for people if they want that, but just shoot me an email or comment. So that's how I would do it. So again, one day a week of strength training, and then the 2 days a week towards the event of those conditioning circuits. So with the conditioning circuits, doing your interval runs, doing your mix, and the other thing, when you're doing your outside training, you can quite easily find a circuit which is a mile, for example, a mile to an obstacle course or to a monkey bar play park. Do lots of chin-ups, dips, crawling, lots of things that you are going to replicate what you're doing in the race. and then go back into your mile run again, and then repeat that circuit. And maybe repeat that circuit, give yourself a time frame. So again, you could do this for rounds. So you could do where you do half an hour and you do that circuit as many times as you can in half an hour. Or you could do, I'm going to do 5 rounds of that circuit and I'm just going to do it until I complete that. And then you obviously depending on your race, it's going to be slightly different. But that's how I would train. Make sure you've got strength training, and then make it as specific as possible for that mud run event that you're doing. As I say, if you've got questions or any comments on the specific types of events that you're doing, then put them in the comment box, and I look forward to interacting with you, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then please give us a like and subscribe by clicking up here. Also, don't forget to go over to strengthphysio.com and check out our members area, which has basically got our full library of all of our videos. You can get there by going to strengthphysio.com/members. Hopefully I'll see you on the site, and I'll talk to you all soon.